What's up, guys? Mr. Free Coiner coming back to you again today. Hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves. All right, so today has been very tame. However, we have had some positive price action last 24 hours. Nothing big, but green is always welcome, right? Um, Last hour we got some red, but hey, green is always a good thing. Now, as I mentioned, this week, I mean, we could very well have some things go on. I just personally don't think it's going to be like crazy what we're really expecting until after the holidays. But who knows? Anything can happen. Um, of course, XRP sitting at 220. Um, Bitcoin is, it's been trying to get up there, but it's getting rejected at, at the higher levels of 108,000. Well, again, we'll see, but I tell you, I'm really excited I'm really excited about what's about to happen. Now, barring any craziness that could go on, you never know. Anything could happen during this coming week. I think it should be relatively quiet. At least I'm hoping, but we could get a fear event. It's very possible. We never know. It could be a shakeout event over this next week. Just something pretty superficial, but it may not seem that way initially. So, but we're going into the holiday next weekend, or pretty much starting Thursday, because most people really start taking days, taking half the day off and everything, because the next day, or Friday is going to be the holiday. So Thursday definitely won't be a full day for most people, I'm sure. But all in all, um, yeah, exciting times coming. Very, very exciting times. I'm here for it. All right, I just wanted to go over a couple things, talk to you guys, because you guys are I know you're aware of your position in all of this, but I kind of want to just reinforce that. So let me just go over a couple things. I'm going to come back, just go over some things that I've talked about before. But again, sometimes we need to reinforce it and just talk about it, right? Okay, so this article here, Ripple CTO XRP Ledger position for explosive growth in tokenized assets. This is a big thing, very big. Now, I don't think this just happened. I think XRP has been ready for it, but the fact that David Schwartz is coming out saying it means a lot. And what better? Uh, well, where else is better than getting it from the horse's mouth, right? David is, very likely he could very well be Satoshi. Who knows? But all in all, uh, of course, he's going to be tied into all the things that are coming, and yeah, we'll get into it. So, Ripple CTO David Schwartz has confirmed that the XRP ledger is now ready to support large-scale tokenization of real-world assets like real estate, commodities, and treasury bills. That's huge. It's huge. There's a lot of money in all of these, and I'm sure there's a lot more than this. Um, with growing institutional interest and XRPL's low cost, fast settlement infrastructure, the platform is positioned to play a central role in the future of digital asset management. So, yeah, it's time. It's time to go, right? It's time to go. Let's see what Power Finanzas has to say. Ripple CTO David Schwartz has made a bold statement about the future of the XRP ledger, XRPL, in the world of real estate asset tokenization. This could be a game changer for the crypto space and traditional finance alike. Let's break it down. And he goes into a thread. You can check that out. But all in all, guys, XRP is positioned to do some crazy things. And just like the guy Jake Claver has been saying, stuff, look, we don't know what's waiting right there on the sidelines. In fact, speaking about the sidelines, here, Crypto Geek says breaking 4,000 financial institutions have announced the use of XRP by the end of 2025. So, if nothing else, this is just proof, right? Just proof that there's just so much on the sideline and it's been waiting, right? Because actually, all of this was supposed to happen or start happening in 2020, 2021, right? Because if Trump had gotten in back then, we would have been down this road already. But actually, I think it was a good thing it did, happen the way it did. I think people needed to see, they needed to see what was going on. People needed to be woken up, right? And I think we really, we dodged a bullet. We dodged a damn missile with that other person. And here we are. We have a pro-crypto president who's doing everything that he can to make sure this is successful. And the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world, as he said many, many times. So yeah, I think we're in for some very, very interesting, very exciting, very wealth building times, guys. So, when Brad said lock in, I mean, think about that. And especially like coming from Brad Garlinghouse, guys, he's not saying that for nothing. It's a real thing. We need to be ready. And in fact, I don't think you guys are ready. I don't think I'm ready. Even though we've been in this for, multiple years, for the better part of a decade, I don't think we're really ready for what's about to happen. It's truly amazing that we are now here, right? The utility. So the utility pump is something that we've talked about for quite a while now, right? But this is the first time we're actually going to get a chance to see how this actually works, because now that institutions will be causing the price to pump, it's going to be a much more significant thing rather than retail. Retail actually, and if I'm not mistaken, I think, the wealth distribution, right? I can't remember when it was or what I was looking at, but it was saying that the rich actually now have a much larger portion of the wealth than, or basically they have more money than all of us put together, right? Like a percentage more, and I can't remember what it was. But all in all, these companies are basically throughways that really lead back to retail, because we're using the products that they're making, and they're tokenizing or in some way settling or using crypto. So it's really kind of feeding on itself, right? We're being factored in either way, whether it's directly into the market or through these companies. So what I'm looking at is XRP, like Jake was saying, if this adoption happens, which according to him, he's very he's pretty well convinced that it's going to happen this year, and I don't see why it wouldn't. It's why would it be 2 years from now? Why would it be 4 years from now? Now is the time to do it. So and everything's been ready. It's been ready for at least since the early part of the previous administration's run, right? So, guys, I think this is going to be more than we can even imagine. So something else I wanted to kind of mention is, when you get ready to sell, and I know we're all excited and ready to sell whatever price that might be. And before I get into this, just remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving any advice. I'm just, telling you, my opinions, and telling you what I'm going to do in some cases. So don't don't you do anything based on what I'm saying. This is your responsibility, not mine. But you know, one thing I can say is when you sell, before you sell, think about what you want to put that money towards. Because, what I'm looking at is I don't just want to sell an asset that could very well increase by many, many times just to have the cash, right? Just to have the money. What I'm looking at is selling enough to pay off the things that I need to pay off so I don't have those responsibilities. So, basically I'm not paying interest. I'm not paying, whether it's credit cards or, automobile or whatever the case might be. I want to make sure that, my income is not going to things that, that are not doing me any good financially. Having enough to put somewhere to maybe get some interest off of. I think we, again, and as I mentioned before, we need to be careful. We need to be sure what we're doing, because if you say you have 20,000 XRP and you sell 18,000, at whatever price, right? You're leaving yourself 2,000. Okay. What if XRP goes to 2,500, like Jake was saying, and you really didn't need to sell 18,000? Maybe you only needed to sell 10. Guys, you got to understand, having XRP, having thousands of XRP will soon be like having thousands of Bitcoin, say back in 2017. It's going to be more than life changing. It's going to be, it's going to be it's going to put you on a level that you can't imagine. Just think about it. XRP is sitting at $2,500, and you have 20 or 30,000 XRP. That's crazy. And then you don't have to sell it. You can use that to get a loan. You can just get a loan on it. Especially if the market is more stable. And you got to remember, it's no longer a slot machine. This is going to be utility. And I personally believe, if not this cycle, the next cycle, there won't be any more slot machine mentality. This is going to be like the stock market. And I'll be honest with you guys, this very well could be the last time we see the gains that we've been seeing with crypto. This could be the last cycle. There may not be any more cycles. Okay. Maybe, there may be some meme coins or some other thing that kind of, gets hyped up. But all in all, when it comes to XRP and, even Bitcoin and all these others, those that are, really utility driven, this could be it. I don't want to make this too long. Let's see. What else I wanted to talk about? I think that's really it. Like I said, I don't want to make this too long, but guys, just be careful and be mindful of what you're doing. Again, it is your responsibility. It's all your decision. All I'm saying is just think about it. Be clear on what you're doing, what you want to do, and what you need to do. So that's really it, guys. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, hit the like button, and also hit the post notification button so you know when I post it again. Guys, I cannot stress enough. We're going into uncharted waters. So be ready. Just be ready for anything. All right. All right. That's all I have for you guys. Until next time, this has been Mr. Free Coiner. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.